let's keep working on factoring trinomials when a is 1. So we're going to take a look at a crisscross here to start with, and this one only has 2 terms. This is kind of an interesting problem. So we have r squared minus 81. So remember, standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So I see that I have a 1r squared and I have a negative 81. So I do not have a b term. So what is my b term if I don't have one? Yeah, it's 0. If it's not there, it's a 0. So I technically have 1 times negative 81 is a negative 81 here, and I have a 0 on the bottom. So what are the factors of 81 that are going to give me 0? Well, let's go ahead and pull up our factoring calculator and see what we get. So if I'm looking for factors of 81 and I need 0, I can see that I have 9 and negative 9. 9 and negative 9. So that would give me, if I multiply, that would give me a negative 81. And if I add, that gives me 0. So I'm looking for, I have a positive 9r and a negative 9r. Okay, so the one thing that I want you to see here is that 81 is a perfect square, which is why it has the 2 terms that are the same, okay? And tomorrow we'll spend a little bit more time working on how do we handle the perfect squares, but I want you to kind of see that that is what is going on. That's actually a 0. And so as I am working on pulling my factors out, I know I can take out a positive 9 here, a positive 1r here, a positive 1r here, and a negative 9. Notice that these are exactly the same as what we had. So r plus 9, r minus 9, and if I want to put the 1s in there, I can do that. And this happens to be equal to 0. They're not always going to be equal to 0, but r plus 9 equals 0, so r would equal negative 9, because remember, it's opposite. R minus 9 equals 0, add my 9, r would be positive 9. So again, thinking about what's going on here and what we're looking for, those are the x-intercepts or the zeros. So there's 1 at 9, there's 1 at negative 9, and my a is positive, so I know that it is a smile. Okay, so let's go ahead and practice 3 of these. Okay, so 3 of these. I want you to hit pause. I want you to find your crisscross, fill your boxes in, and pull your factors. All right, so 1 times 9 is 9. I need a positive 9 and a positive 6, so I know that's positive 3 and positive 3. So 1x squared plus 9, a 3x, a 3x, which is going to leave me with x plus 3 and x plus 3. So x plus 3, x plus 3, and I could also write this as x plus 3 squared because they're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. So what happens if this is now positive 9 and negative 6? Yeah, the only difference is these are negative 3's. So 1x squared, positive 9. And remember, if those negatives are first, I need to pull them out. So I've got x minus 3 or the quantity x minus 3 squared. Okay, 1 times 8 is 8, positive 6, positive 4, and a positive 2. So positive 4x, positive 2x, positive 8, and my 1x squared. Here I can take out a positive 4, and I can take out an x and an x and a positive 2. So I'm left with x plus 4 and x plus 2. Okay, here's 3 more. Go ahead and hit pause and see what you can do with these. Okay, so if I have a positive 8 and a negative 6, That means I have to have two negatives to make a positive. So -4 and -2. So -4x, a +8, a -2x, and my x squared. So here I can take out a -4 and a 1x, a 1x, and a -2. So I'm left with x minus 4 and x minus 2. Okay, so I need factors of 5 that are going to give me a +6. So +3 and +2. Does that work? Nope, those aren't even the right numbers, are they? Let's try that again. So we need factors of 6 to give me 5. I wrote that backwards one more time. Let's try it one more time. Third time's a charm. Factors of 5 that are going to give me 6. So +1, +5. There we go. Multiply to get the bottom, or add to get the bottom, multiply to get the top. So I have a 1x squared. My +5 is here. +1x, +5x. So here I can take out a +5 and my x, and my 1. So x plus 1, x plus 5. Okay, so I need to have 5 and -6. Well, the only difference would be those are negative. So same numbers, just negative. So 1x squared, +5, -5, -1. Take out my negative, take out my x's, take out my -1, and I have x minus 5, x minus 1. So that works pretty slick. Okay, so again, refresh my memory. What do I do if there's 0? Yeah, it's pretty much the same process. I just have to solve. So let's go ahead and do this one, and we'll take this all the way since it's equal to 0. So 1 times -27 is -27, and I need a +6. So factors of 27, oh, there's not very many. 1 and 27, 3 and 9. So I'm going to be using the 3 and the 9. I need a +9 and -3, and that would be how I would come up with a +6. So 1x squared, -27, +9x, -3x, and here I'm going to take out a +9. Here I take out my x, and here I take out my x, and a -3. So I have my factors of x plus 9 and x minus 3, and those are equal to 0. So remember how we had to have two of those. X minus 3 equals 0, so add my 3, x is equal to 3. X minus 9 equals 0, add my 9, I get x equals 9. And what do these mean? Well, if you think back, remember that meant 2 points on the x-axis. Those are my x-intercepts. And there is my parabola. And I see that I lost a negative right here. I'm going to go back to this spot right here. I lost a negative, so this is x plus 9 equals 0. So x would equal a -9. So instead of going this direction, it's going to be over here. There we go. You can see how easy it is to lose those negatives. All right. So go ahead and work on some more of those factoring, and tomorrow we'll work on difference of squares.